What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is August 26, 2024. It's 4:26 in the afternoon. A little bit later than I normally do these videos, but I had to take care of something before I made the video. With that said, I don't really have much to share with you guys. The only lesson that I have to share was I didn't really like what I saw in the markets today. I wasn't thrilled with how SPY was behaving. I wasn't thrilled with how Qs were affecting SPY, how sometimes SPY was listening to ADD and other times to the Qs. And when I did take the trade that I took it off of lower highs, which we'll show you. I got out of it because I was uncomfortable. What we were aiming for when we got into this trade was a move for the Qs to continue down. So they broke their uptrend line, which is what we wanted to see if we were playing puts. But this was weird because we saw Qs struggling to move higher than the pre-market high line, which was one of our criteria to even consider calls. And in ADD at the time was dropping. So nothing that I saw made me comfortable taking anything. And if you look at today's chart, I didn't even have call put lines. I had a put line on the chart, but I couldn't see anything that I liked to the call side. Now, we did have some people place some calls this morning and made some money. I was not one of those, okay? I didn't like what I saw on the things that I typically watch, and therefore I didn't spend my money. However, once the Qs finally broke their uptrend and they got below support here, that put puts on the table. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to get on them, but we did believe that if we were able to close below the support here, having broke that downtrend, the Qs would continue down to at least their next line of support, which is exactly what they did. However, if you look at the entry on that, if you took that entry at 942, I still didn't get into that. And why? Because we were running into the pink line on SPY, which was also a line of support that was created not only in pre-market, but created one in live trading hours as well. So then it got to, well, we want to get below. So as you can see, my put line was below 562.97, none of which did we even breach really until where I actually exited my trade, the only trade I took. The problem with days like today is that if I don't get into my trade or take a trade before I recognize what appears to be what would have been a great trade, I start to lack patience. I know this is a problem not just for me, but for a lot of people. And then if we lack that patience, we tend to become impatient or continue to be impatient and then force a trade, which is exactly what I did here. I had been saying ever since the Qs broke their uptrend this morning, or for how brief it was, that I do believe that we were going to sell off and that we were going to have a down. You know, I liked puts better than calls, and this has nothing to do with a bias of any kind. It just seemed like it was struggling a lot to go up. That's all. And when it can't go up, I do believe it's going to go down. Now, did I anticipate that the whole day was going to be a downtrending day? Of course not. I just believed that if we can't move higher, we'll take a pullback to find more buyers and then try and make another run up from there if we're gonna be green. Now, most of the Qs opened red today, which is another thing. I don't trade against the Qs. But the point is, I got into a trade because we put in lower highs on SPY, we put in lower highs on Qs, and I wanted the Qs. We had an alert set here at the time to get down to 477.96. That was my goal. However, after I got into that, and they did hit it at 10:01, which was right here on SPY, I got into these puts here, and then we struggled to get through this line of support, as if it wasn't obvious when I got into the trade. But I did say, we're coming off lower highs, support is likely to fail, not hold. And I got uncomfortable. Guys, I'm on the microphone in front of hundreds of people. People are listening to what I say. People, even though I don't want them to, will often take trades that I'm considering myself. And that feeling of added responsibility oftentimes keeps me. It's a benefit to me sometimes, and it's a factor that works against me on other times. It keeps me from breaking rules and holding and hoping, because I know damn well that several people took a trade just because I did. And if that trade doesn't do what I expect it to do in a short amount of time, I start to feel like maybe I made a mistake. Or maybe I should start to worry about these folks' money more so than my own. I can afford to take a loss of 100% of any one of my trades. A lot of you guys who are out there trading, that concept of playing a manageable position size eludes you. And I'm not saying that to be a jerk, but it is what it is. I've done it many times in my trading past where you're trading a position size way too big to be comfortable in the trades, and you don't let them breathe like you should. You don't, take profits when you should. It's just a constant struggle. Okay. Well, I know that I'm helping people who do that despite the fact that we teach against that constantly. So when I'm in a trade, my trades, I'm comfortable financially. I'm comfortable in my decision making. But I'm not comfortable in case it goes wrong, right? I'm aware that any trade I take could turn into a losing trade. But I felt myself becoming a hold and hoper. Once we didn't break through this support, coming off of a lower high, ADD was still coming down. I mean, everything at the time, actually ADD was starting to move back up, was good. We got in on a pullback or just below the support line, hoping that we were going to continue down. It didn't get back above the resistance that was the lower high. And Qs kept going down. So everything made me feel like it was going to go down. But when it was struggling through this mess here, I was telling people, guys, if we get above this point, you got to stop out of the trade. I am going to put a limit order to get out of the trade to get my normal $100 a contract. Now, I had hit that level several times on these candles, but because we weren't breaking low, I went ahead and set the limit order and got out of this trade. It was a $500 win, 5 SPX contracts, $100 a contract. And then it proceeded to sell off, which is frustrating and created a whole bunch of FOMO. I spent a good portion of the day fighting FOMO of my own. It's one thing to assume it's one thing to, I don't even say predict, because you can't predict the future. It's one thing to, you don't want to assume either, because that could be bad, but I was looking for puts today. And when I saw the reasons to take it, I took it. And when it didn't do what I wanted it to do as quickly as I'd like it to do it, I got out of it. Okay. And then I watched it do what I wanted it to do. And that becomes frustrating. And I'm sure I'm speaking to many of you, if not all of you. We've all done it, right? Where we take a trade, we get stopped out, or we get out because it's not doing what we wanted it to do quick enough. But there is a fine line between becoming a hold and hoper and getting lucky in it doing what you do, or, you just get nervous because of time. I don't spend a lot of time in my trades, and I'm also conscious about other folks and what positions they might be in, which changes my process a little bit for me too. Which is what happened here. I wanted to know that if I get out with profit, other people who took the same trade can get out with profit, or put your stops at break even, or put your stop losses in place. Whatever the case is, guys, it's your money. Just manage it properly. I shouldn't be the one managing your trades for you. Okay. I beg you guys to do this every day. And the only way I can do that when I get uncomfortable is to manage my own trade so that if it does what I hope it's going to do, even partially, I can get out with a smaller win than I would like to have taken, but it met my daily goal. Why did I aim for my daily goal? Because if I fall short of my daily goal, I just create another excuse for why I need to take another trade. I did not like what I saw today. It's very easy to look at this chart after the fact and say, oh man, it was a put day. I could have made a ton of money if I played puts. You guys know as well as I do, it's easy to see it after the fact. It's really difficult to feel comfortable seeing it before it happens. Okay. And so obviously it was a downtrending day, and then we kind of bounced up and down, and I got no arrows on this chart. There's no arrows on the chart because I didn't like what I saw. And that's the point. The whole point is avoid FOMO, don't force trades, and learn to walk away if you don't like what you see. If you get into a trade and you feel uncomfortable in the trade, you shouldn't stay in the trade. Get out of the trade with a small win, a break even, a small loss, whatever it is. But there's nothing worse than being in a trade or taking a trade that you're uncomfortable being in or taking. You will mismanage it from here till Sunday, and you'll lose money most of the time. Don't do that. So when I felt uncomfortable, I went ahead, took a smaller profit, obviously, and not only protected myself, but potentially helped other people protect themselves. And that's really what this community is all about. I want you guys to be comfortable and confident in what you're doing, not trying to copy trade me. I tell you guys what I'm doing. I tell you what I want to see before I'm going to do it. I told everybody what I was going to do if this happened. I told everybody what I was going to do for getting in this trade. All of the things. Okay. Yes, it makes me subject to people copying my trades. That's not the point of what we're doing here. The point is for me to tell you why I feel comfortable taking my trades so that you can put the puzzle pieces together, and so you can develop a strategy or reasoning for taking your own trades. All right. So with that said, I got nothing today. I just didn't like the chart. So I didn't play the chart. I didn't force any trades. I didn't fall victim to FOMO. Our win rate, believe it or not, after the first 30 minutes was like 5-1. And then by the end of the day, and I was saying this all day, I said, you guys take a picture of what the poll looks like now, because it's as good as it's going to be for the day. By lunchtime, it had dropped to 3-1. By the close, it's way below 3-1. So it wasn't an easy day. If you made money today, congratulations. If you blue booked it today, meaning you didn't take any trades, I envy you. And congratulations on that as well. If you found trades that you felt comfortable taking, you made good money, that's awesome. Keep doing that, and you grow your account, become a confident trader, and make some extra money. With that, I hope you found some useful information in this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Like, join our Discord community. Well, we'd love to have you. There's a link down below. First week is completely free. If you like what you get for that week, please consider becoming a paying member. That's pretty much it. So I hope you all had a fantastic day. Till tomorrow, I love you guys. See ya!